watching the ACC on ESPN. They are separated by only 11 miles, 8 as the crow flies. The Crazies have been camped outside for better than 3 weeks, trying to get the best spot they can here at camp. Roger Ayers, Bert Smith, Tommy Morrissey, the officials. And that's the tip of our Sonic blockbuster matchup, the Blue Devils with the first possession of the night.
Seth Trimble guarding Cooper Flagg. He's given up a lot of size.
And an easy one as Flagg finds Sion James.
Sion James sets a little screen, then wide open, slipping to the basket.
The North Carolina starting five, again, 4 guards, including Ian Jackson, an outstanding freshman, has become a big-time scorer for them, and a nice find from Elliot Cadeau to Van Allen Lubin to get about 6'3" in height. The 5 Duke starters, about 6'8". They are noticeably bigger at every position. Knipple to Flagg, too strong, but a foul. Other than that, he doesn't have much going.
Yeah, really doesn't, but he has been living at the free throw.
Company tell us under the weather. He has been fighting it the last couple of days. Malawach again. Flagg. Yes.
If North Carolina is going to give Duke that as the offensive glass.
Can Carolina keep Duke off the glass and get out in transition and get some easy ones? Backdoor pass taken away by Flagg. Look at that pass, and James will lay it in.
Paul had played pretty good defense. They just didn't clean it up with an offensive board.
Jalen Washington into the game for the first time for the Heels. Cadeau off to Washington, softly off the glass and good. Shooting the ball, and this is 5th and final season, but noticeably better the last 4 games. Look at the size he's dealing with Malawach on him. Trimble with 3 to shoot, gets it off and hits.
Well, that's a heck of a shot by Trimble. There are only 3, maybe 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and that's the kind of tough 2 that Duke wants to force. A mid-range jumper oversized.
Duke by 1, just over 4 minutes into this one here at Cameron. Flagg posting the immediate double. Open is Proctor. Count it.
Boy, how about that? You bring the double, and he can see right over the top of it and makes exactly the right cross-court pass, the skip. Beautifully done.
And now his second steal of the night. Off to Proctor for the slam.
And basically acting as the point guard in transition.
The Heels need a big night from Jackson. That 3 around and out, and Flagg down with the board.
Boy, a lot of tough shots for North Carolina.
Flagg will try a 3 and hit. What a sensational start for Cooper Flagg. And that he was kind of being a little soft. He said, not kind of. I told him he was being soft. And he said the best thing, as Jeff said, is Flagg responds to that, wants the criticism, and boy, is he off to some kind of start here tonight.
That Carolina has committed and that Duke has forced has led to 3.
Brown with a rebound. Flagg. Brown kicks it back out to Proctor. Knipple will try a 3 and he'll hit. And Duke is absolutely. Knipple again. It's a 16-0 run for the Blue Devils.
Right now, Duke is getting anything they want, but it's primarily because they're getting stops on the defensive end. It's been 1 shot and out if Carolina even gets a shot.
Drake Powell in off the bench, gets a good look, but he can't knock it down. Jalen Washington with the putback to snap the drought.
What North Carolina really needs here is a stop or rebound so they can get out in transition, because going against Duke's half-court defense is not a winning formula.
No matter whose numbers you look at, Duke, one of the 3 or 4 best teams defensively in the nation.
The Cooper Flagg love, and all the Cooper Flagg love, rightfully so. But Knipple's having a great freshman year.
Possibilities of Isaiah Evans. They'd love to get Caleb Foster going as well to wrap.
When he gets in a passing lane, just an excellent defender.
Shot clock is at 4. Washington is fouled by Gillis. And a timeout on the floor. 8:03. I mean, we got to keep an eye on Kidd. We got to stick around long enough to call some a hit at the Knipple household. Washington playing very well. They missed the last game with a knee in.
Back the paint because they've been giving up so much paint. But Duke moves the ball so well. If they penetrate it, they can find some openings.
Knipple. The three won't go. Malawacz another offensive rebound. And Knipple is fouled and is heading to the line.
There's that shot fake, oftentimes in a zone.
You talked about how
there's in the league, 5th in the league in 3-pointers made, and makes just under 40% of them.
Who's got Malawacz on him? Again, Duke switching everything. Cadeau driving on Gillis. Powell lost it. Blue Devils in transition. Malawacz with the left.
Like Cooper Flagg faked the skip pass cross court and then was able to find Malawacz as the trailer. Just such poise in transition from Cooper Flagg.
Assist number 5 of the night already for Flagg. Davis a nice find. Cadeau buries the three. And for North Carolina to have any chance, you got to believe they've got to score in transition. And Jay, they've got to make some threes, and they have not been a great three-point shooting team this year.
Well, that three was a rhythm three because R.J. Davis was able to drive the closeout, get into the paint. That was important to generate that shot.
And now Ian Jackson fouls Tyrese. The junior from Sydney, Australia, playing just over 10 points per game.
But overall, he's had a great year. And especially
that Duke has is really unlike any other team in the country. It starts with a Malawacz. It's Evans into the game, a guy who can light it up from the outside.
Isaiah Evans is a flamethrower.
Turnaround by Flagg. Malawacz another rebound. This is the first time since 07-08 they have started league play 10-0. Knipple into the paint, just kept on going.
With the little exchange with Proctor and Knipple, then Knipple.
23 already in this one.
Duke has just taken R.J. Davis out of this game.
Look at Cadeau, but he couldn't finish. Follow won't go. 3 cracks at it. Now R.J. Davis, and that won't go down. And then a block by Flagg. So Carolina's already had 5 attempts here on this trip. And a whistle on the drive.
Earlier in the possession on a drive by Elliot Cadeau when he goes. Now Duke wants that looked at. I don't know if the officials are walking over there now.
So and hands them both to make it a 20.
The reasons, Dan, you can count the passes they've made in the half court on one hand.
Flagg. Defended by Jalen Withers, who commits the foul.
But the last 5 games, Jalen Withers has only scored 11 points and 7 rebounds.
As well. Drake Powell, who's really a wing, has to play the 4 sometimes. They're
Rondo Baycott last year, Harrison Ingram, you had Cormac Ryan out on the perimeter. You had some threats. But right now, it's so difficult for North Carolina. They're not generating any offense off the offensive glass.
Davis high off the glass and good. The first points of the night. Hubert Davis talking about how teams are putting bigger defenders on R.J. Davis this year. Scoring's down a bit. Shooting, 3-point shooting is down this year for Davis. He gets by Malawacz, kicks it to Withers, who hits a corner 3.
Jalen Withers had a terrific
Triple deep in the corner. James in the corner now. Good ball movement by the Blue Devils, but the shot won't go, and here come the heels. Trimble all the way. And a foul on the floor going against Duke. On the Jeep halftime report, 2:41 from now. First 4 or 5 minutes of the game, Duke has led by as many as 27. At this moment, Flagg, 11 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 steals.
I may differ just a bit with my learned colleague. I think there is something North Carolina can do. They need to toughen up and make some passes on the offensive end. And put a little bit more game pressure on Duke.
Good pass from Knipple to Mason Gillis, who got off to a very at home to Stanford. The only win in that stretch, overtime at home against BC. Davis hits the three.
Much better movement by North Carolina. The dribble weave moves the defense, and then R.J. Davis able to pop out to the three-point line. Yeah, if you're just going to dribble in one spot, you're not going to find any openings against this Duke defense because their help side is so good.
Knipple to Malowacz. Thought he was. They are getting so much from Sion James.
A little isolation on the right elbow.
Flag misses the long two. Gillis the hustle, but Davis has it. Ahead to Jackson. And a foul is called. A seam. Jackson, player with the offensive end.
He's had some big games. He had 23 against Alabama, 27.
Attendance here tonight.
Yeah, the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year when he was injured.
Final seconds of the first half.
Duke going 5 out, really spreading the floor against North Carolina for this last possession.
Flag defended by Davis. Got a big size advantage. Tough turnaround. Goes.
Boy, how about that play? A spectacular pass fake to the corner that got the second half of our Sonic blockbuster matchup. Dan Shulman, Jay Billis, Jess Sims here at Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham. 22-point lead for the Blue Devils. Flag draws a double. Kicks to Knipple. And he gets inside and slams it. All of them, Jay, have been live ball turnovers, and Duke has turned those into points at the other end. Well, in the first half, Duke had more steals than North Carolina had assists.
Knipple for three. And Duke picking up right where they left off in the first half. The nation in both offensive and defensive efficiency, and both of those have been on display here tonight. Another good pass. Good closeout by R.J. Davis on Con Knipple. Now he's going to post him up. Got a big height advantage on him. And draws a foul.
Smart play by Knipple when Davis took away
his second as Knipple goes to the line.
Got 14 free throws in that first half. North Carolina only 6. And that's a departure
to Davis.
Jalen Washington tried to post up. Malowacz just pushed him right off his spot, just more physical.
R.J. Davis over Malowacz, buries a three, his second of the night.
Gutsy over the 7-2 long reach of Malowacz with that step back.
That is the 322nd made three-pointer of R.J. Davis's Tar Heel career. He is the North Carolina leader, obviously the 5th year because of COVID, but still a magnificent 5-year career really for R.J. As you said, you talked about it early in the game, getting to the line at a very high rate.
Dribble, and he's to the rim. And that's what caused that foul, was the decisive nature of that move. Maybe earlier in the season he might have played with it, tried to cross over 2-3 dribbles, and that could get him into a little bit of trouble.
Cadeau gets it back from Washington. Left alone, 17 feet away, and he knocks it down.
A little better action from North Carolina, a little more movement in their attack.
Ball screen to Malowacz. Knipple finds James in the corner, and the three will go.
Boy, the spacing so good from Duke. You're worried about Malowacz and his roll to the basket. That opens the cross-court pass for the easy three from Sion James.
How about Duke 7 for 13 from three-point range as Trimble answers at the other end. Really 10 and 12 in the other. Washington kept it alive. Trimble's got it. And to shoot. Davis again with a Malowacz on him. Can't shake him. Good footwork by the big man. Cadeau into traffic. Wild shot off the glass and flagged the rebound.
Great challenge by Sion James at the rim. Just make Cadeau score over.
Knipple. And one.
His arm and completes that play.
Warming moment, and Jess is exactly right. It's been loud at so many different moments in this building on this night. Nothing compared to that moment. Knipple now with 20.
He has had a spectacular game. When he gets hot, and he can get hot in a hurry, He's got a lot of game. He's not just a shooter. He's much more than that.
R.J. Davis will step in and knock down the baseline jumper, and he's heating up. He's now got 10.
Well, anytime you close out, ideally you want to take away the shot and the drive. But with R.J. Davis, you definitely want to take away that three-point shot.
Proctor lays it in.
Right to the floor, but Duke doing a great job switching to defend it.
And Malik Brown getting right in the passing lane. Didn't let Davis make the pass he wanted to make. Jackson will try another step back. He'll hit it, and a foul on Gillis.
Crossover and then the step back and just trying to put pressure on the shot. Mason Gillis didn't give him the opportunity to land.
Jackson, a guy who can get to the rim with the best of them, but we shouldn't overlook the fact he's a good three-point shooter as well. 38% on the season. Fine, but Proctor obviously got there in plenty of time.
Well, he was already there. He just never left. And when his man left the lane, Tyrese Proctor stayed there because he read the drive, so he didn't have to come over from the weak side. He was already there.
Third on Ian Jackson. Turnaround for Flagg. He's got 16.
He has the complete game. As complete a freshman as that has ever played at Duke.
Trimble, by the way, now making his way back to the end of the Carolina bench as R.J. Davis draws a foul.
I mean, I think the full package, he's as good a freshman as has ever played here.
Yeah, the word you heard him do it at the end of the season in either steals or blocks, but just the fact that he is right there. Everything you read about him, he has lived up to, and in some cases perhaps even exceeded so far this season. And he and Johni Broome, would you say, are the top two contenders right now for National Player of the Year?
Yeah, I'd say Cam Jones and Marquette is in there too, but I think those two are the two.
Auburn now with 13 quad one wins. Duke's got 5. And Duke, as it stands right now, would only have 3 more quad one opportunities. Auburn, I believe, would have 8 more. Just the strength of schedule. Look out. James from Knipple. Turnovers have been a problem from the get-go for the Heels tonight. They've turned it over 13 times to just 5 for Duke. Now 6 for Duke. And Lubin ahead to Powell, who will slam it.
Jalen Withers able to block that shot on the defensive end. And after the miss, Carolina's going to be back to man-to-man.
Flagg wide open. Hits the 3. 19 now for Cooper Flagg on 25 made baskets. Davis the drive. Whips it into the corner for Powell. Lubin will go to the line.
Then Alan Lubin started his career at Notre Dame, playing for Mike Brey. Then when Mike Brey left Notre Dame, Carolina.
Cade Tyson making his first appearance tonight for the Tar Heels. Again, a transfer from Belmont, big score there, had some good moments earlier in the year for Carolina, has kind of fallen out of the rotation. Didn't play it all Tuesday against Pitt. Isaiah Evans doing what
with diagonal cross-court passes.
Assist number 7 for Flagg. Davis, no. Lubin over Malawach.
Benno.
Proctor, no look to Malawach. And down with the rebound, Davis. 30-point lead for Duke. Withers with the left hand.
A tough move. Last 5 games, he's had double-doubles for Mark Pope. He's a playmaking big guy.
You and I will venture back into SEC country next week. We'll be at Auburn as the Gators will be there. Corner 3 for Drake Powell.
Carolina getting a little bit better action and being able to punch the paint, draw help, and then kick it out to Drake Powell. Drake Powell's going to be a really good player. He's so talented. Carolina sticking with that 2-3 zone.
Flagg sneaks behind it and got fouled.
They just ran a cutter along the baseline, Isaiah Evans, and that was a bit of the screen and overload together.
And you see nights like this for Flagg, where he has just filled up so many different parts of the stat sheet. He's now got.
If National Player of the Year voting ended today, I would think Johni Broome of Auburn would win the vote. But by the end of the year, Cooper Flagg is really shooting up the charts. It's going to be a very difficult decision because I don't.
The ACC SEC Challenge back at the end of November.
Yeah, one of only 2 losses for the SEC in that challenge. It turned out not to be a challenge. It was 14-2.
Howell ahead to Trimble for the lay-in.
He does have a good team. Chase Hunter having a terrific year. He's averaging over 17 a game. Ian Shefflin, one of the best rebounders in the country. Jaden Zachary, who transferred in from Boston College, is having a really good year. Clemson is a good team. They're solid.
Howell,
Nebraska, but Kasparos Yakachonis is an outstanding young player that Duke's going to have to deal with. So I think that's smart scheduling to play that out of conference game late in the season.
Greg Powell with another bucket. It's a 9. And again for Carolina, assuming they lose this game, they will fall to 1-9 in quad 1. And their 2 biggest games of the season may be their next 2 games, as they will play at home to Pitt and then at Shire in Shire's senior season and an eventual championship season.
North Carolina thought they had a shot clock violation and stopped pursuing the ball. Cooper Flagg was able to beat everybody to it.
And a foul committed by Tyson.
And about consistency. And look, I think North Carolina hasn't even been consistent. Some games they turn it over. Other games they don't shoot it well. Other games.
Cadeau trying to drive by James off the back of the iron. James Brown is into the game. Freshman out of Aurora, Illinois, came down with a rebound. And here's a guy who hit 100th Duke Carolina game going way back. You can think of over the last really 40 years or so, I would think. He is an icon in the ACC, as is John Madry sitting to my left, the statistician with us up here in the booth. But congratulations.
In the last 100 games, you know, Duke is 51-49 against North Carolina. Freddie Kiger's seen them all.
Proctor behind the back. Beautiful feed, and Brown the reverse. This is another impressive statement by Duke. Unquestionably one of the best teams in the country.
No question. They're their best team in the ACC with a legitimate shot to go unbeaten in conference play. Still a long way to go, but they have a legit shot to do it.
They will be 11-0 in league play after this one. The last team to go undefeated in the ACC, the Duke Blue Devils, 1998-99. Elton Brand, Trajan Langdon, William Avery, Corey Maggette, Chris Harrell, Shane Battier. Pretty good group. Just a few seconds separating the game clock and the shot clock. Proctor banked it in somehow from a very difficult angle.
That's like the shot Stephen Ashworth hit today to beat Villanova.
Ian Jackson will lay it in at the other end, and that will do it. Duke making another statement. 11-0 in the ACC for the #2 team in the nation. Flagg was great. Knipple was great. Everybody who played for the Blue Devils did a lot of good things for them, and they beat Carolina handily here tonight.
A dominant performance, especially on the defensive end. And